everyone, my name is WowShane, and welcome to Your Favorite Game, the show where we talk about your favorite game. Today's video is going to be a fun one. We're taking it way back to the PlayStation and talking about Gran Turismo 2. Today's guest is TheHangoutHut, also known as HangoutHut Games. Why don't you introduce yourself, my friend, and tell the wonderful people about your favorite game.
How's it hanging, everybody? My name is Matt, but people call me TheHangoutHut. And my favorite game I wanted to talk about today is Gran Turismo 2 for the PlayStation 1.
Definitely a fun game. Not something I grew up playing, but I played it a little bit before the show, and I could definitely see myself, as when I was a child, investing some serious hours into this game. Two separate versions of it too, the simulation mode, the arcade mode, what else do you need?
Well, of course, as you had mentioned, those are the two modes that are made up in the two discs that are available for the game. So if you're looking for something really quick, just something to chill out and play with friends, then you can do the arcade mode. But if you're looking to invest much more time and you're very interested in doing through your own career mode in a simulation mode, the simulation mode disc is the way you would want to go as well. So the game really has the best of both worlds. Whether you have a little bit of time that you just do a 3-minute race, or you want to invest a full evening of doing races, you have that option.
Tell me how you like to play Gran Turismo 2. Do you do casual runs, speed runs, challenge runs? What do you got for me?
Well, as I was growing up, of course, I wanted to have a good balance of, doing good in school, but of course, being able to enjoy myself as well after school. So I really didn't think to do any challenges, except just to endure through the entirety of the game, because it is a lengthy experience. But it really is fun to just let your brain cool down and play the game just as it plays. However, as you asked that question, I also think about maybe some future projects of maybe speedrunning through time trials to see how fast I can do a certain course, or possibly an idea I had was a Nuzlocke challenge, similar to what people may think about the Pokemon Nuzlocke challenge. And knowing that you're a Pokemon fan, WowShane, you're probably familiar with how the Nuzlocke works. You go in and you use your Pokemon, but if they faint, then of course that's the end of using them. So similarly with Gran Turismo, I would use the car, and if I don't claim that victory that I seek, then I just get rid of the car altogether.
Yeah, I'm definitely familiar with the Nuzlocke challenge. As you said, I've definitely done a few for Pokemon, and I've seen it done for other franchises as well, such as Zelda, Breath of the Wild. What about Gran Turismo 2 keeps bringing you back to it? What makes it your favorite game?
I really enjoy how detailed the game is, but it's not just a one linear experience. It really gives you the opportunity to try out different combinations and different ways to be able to level up in your career. There isn't just one straightforward way. The game throws you right into the ring and lets you decide how you go about starting your career and building yourself up from there. Of course, you're only limited as you start with 10,000 credits and no car, but by making the decision for the car that you're able to use and keeping in mind the requirements, you're able to move forward. Oh, and in addition to that as well, so the amount of cars that is in Gran Turismo 2 is quite astounding for a PlayStation game in general. I don't know how many on the top of my head, but I believe it's in the thousands. At least 2,000 cars or so. I may be off, but it's truly an astounding number.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy number for a PlayStation 1 game. What is something you would add to Gran Turismo 2 to make it a more enjoyable experience for yourself or a better game?
So Gran Turismo has already done this in their future games, but definitely the biggest thing that stands in my mind of what they should have added was wheel support. If they're calling themselves the real driving simulator, it would make sense to be able to have that hardware, to be able to have that feeling of steering to give that realism. Of course, with the PlayStation 1 having the certain limitations, this would have definitely served as a challenge. And personally, I did enjoy using the controller, but more players nowadays that are serious into the game like really want to feel that immersion and be able to use the wheel support. And of course, it's not until Gran Turismo 3 that you can go ahead and add that on the next generation hardware, being the PlayStation 2. Also, something else that I had noted that I wished could be changed as well, and I'm not sure if there's any fan services that made any moderations for this, but various car sounds. It seems like there's only a couple of stock car sounds I noticed that have this like weird whining sound. It doesn't sound quite realistic as well, but again, that could also be due to the limitations of either the memory or the hardware as well.
The more realism behind a simulation game, I can definitely get behind that. What is one thing you would remove from Gran Turismo 2 to make it a better game or more enjoyable experience for yourself?
So you definitely know about the definition of insanity, and that basically stands for anything that goes over and over again. One example of this is when I'm doing endurance races. There are a limited amount of songs that are played in the races that you do, and for whatever reason, the same song loops over and over. So after the song ends, it just like starts from the beginning, like a record, like a broken record of some sort, instead of going to a different song, which is something that had changed later on in the series. I think starting with with Gran Turismo 3, they had fixed that, but prior to that, it would just be the same song looping over and over for the entirety of whatever race you were doing, including the endurance races, which would last up to 99 laps.
For this next question, you can choose to answer only one or both if you choose to. What is your second favorite game, and or what game is most comparable to Gran Turismo 2?
So I would definitely, I can answer both if you would like, or I can answer one, whichever you prefer.
Completely up to you, my friend.
All right. While you entertain the thought, so a game that I really enjoy, it's not related to racing, but an RPG that I really have enjoyed growing up is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door for the Nintendo GameCube. Basically, the story is just so memorable. The characters just are super lively, and they're not the same carbon copy of each other, but they all have different personalities, and you see much development in them, which is really cool, as well as the twists and turns that it brings. So in the original Mario games by Nintendo, you see just the designs seem to be very similar to each other, but under the direction of intelligence systems, they were able to bring new and original Nintendo characters to life as well. So it was just really cool to see that. And then on top of that, the plot twists that were brought to the light, especially by the end of the game. I'm not going to be spoiling it, of course, but you're truly in for quite an experience. Especially at the end. So, but yeah, I just keep coming back to that one over and over because just how amazing it is. Second favorite game that is related to racing. So I had to think about that one for a little bit. I was thinking Forza because of how similar it is to Gran Turismo and how it allows you to enjoy that online connectivity. However, I am not as familiar with that one as long as previous series that I've been able to enjoy. One of them has been Need for Speed. The Need for Speed series, especially playing them on the PlayStation 3, like Need for Speed Carbon and Need for Speed Pro Street. I remember those ones from my childhood very, very much. I really enjoyed the customization of the cars. It was much more newer and innovative back then, and the stories were just really entertaining without the overindulgence of blood and gore. It was a lot more action oriented. You were able to focus on the action more. So I really enjoyed that series.
So as I said a little bit ago, I never played Gran Turismo growing up. I think I may have owned it, but I've never touched it. I did play it a little bit before the show, and it took me a real minute to get into, honestly. I played the simulation mode, and it just drops you right in. Now, maybe there was something in the manual to explain what you needed to do, but I had zero idea what to do. It took me probably 10 minutes to figure out how to get a car, because I went to try to get my license, and they were like, okay, here's like 20 things for you to do. I drove in a straight line, and I failed somehow. It turned out I needed to slam on my brakes at a certain point. That's a real driver's test right there. And then I went around trying to find a car that was in my price range for the next 5 minutes, and nothing was in my price range, so I got a used Toyota Corolla or Celica or one of them. But once I did get into the races, it was definitely really fun. I am a dirtbag when it comes to racing video games, honestly. I will ram into people's cars and spin them out and try to cause a massive pileup. This game wouldn't let me do that. This game was like, okay, run into their car, they're just gonna sit there, and you're gonna fly past them after a few seconds and go right into a wall.
Hey, it's CPU for you. So I mean, you're just beating the heck out of them, which sounds hilarious.
I was trying to, but I was failing. Overall, I mean, my entire input sounded negative, but I had a great time with it. It was very nostalgic, even though I've never played it before. And this is definitely something growing up that I could have seen myself sinking countless hours into. And I'm really disappointed that I didn't get to play this earlier in my life. But I would definitely suggest anyone who hasn't tried it, give it a shot. Try it out. Maybe look up a tutorial or a guide first.
Yeah, it's definitely an involved game. It's not like a quick party game by any means, unless you're doing like a simple arcade, like I had mentioned at the beginning. But it definitely requires some good decision making and then leading on to that dedication to just persevere and collect every car you can. Because I mean, that's what has kept me going. Building on my garage and trying to get pretty much every car that's in the entire game, as well as all the trophies and everything. Just if you're looking to be if you're looking to be victorious all throughout and try to go for that completionist look, that's I would say that's like one way of motivation for you.
Is there anything else you would like to add that we didn't get to touch on today?
I'd also like to mention, I meant to say this at the beginning, but the value that these games come at for the price is truly astounding as well. So I'm already seeing, like for the entire series as a whole, I was able to get Gran Turismo 2 for $20 at my local video game store back in the day. It's probably, I would say it's valued around the same thing, maybe a little bit less. Even up to as late as the newest Gran Turismo, which is Gran Turismo 7, we're already finding this for 50% off the original sale price when it had launched back in March of 2022. But yeah, just thinking about value, the amount of content that you get in a video game, the quality, just awesome views all around for a easy low price of $20 to $30, maybe less. You truly get a lot of good out of it, that's for sure.
All right, Hut, my friend, tell the wonderful people where we can find you.
That's a wrap. All right. Yeah. So if you want to find me, so of course I'm on the Purple site. I have a little lights back here for those of you who are viewing this by video. So I am on Twitch. I go by TheHangoutHut, no spaces. Also, if you want to find me quick on social media, I'm also on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok as well at TheHangoutHut. If you're looking for game exclusive content, I also have Hangout Hut Games. Also under Instagram and TikTok, as well as YouTube Shorts. I've recently started on that as well, and have enjoyed it ever since. Lastly, I am on YouTube as well at the Hangout Hut. That's my my original home calling. So yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me.
Hut, my friend, thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure you guys go drop Hut a follow if you haven't already on all the sites. And before you leave, like, comment, subscribe. Have a great rest of your day.
Hey, it's been a great pleasure being on this show with you, WowShane. Thank you so much for having me on.